There's a new narrative gaining momentum in the world of women's health, one that sounds progressive, empowering, and overdue. The idea that hormone replacement therapy, HRT, isn't just a short-term tool for managing menopause symptoms, but something women should consider staying on long-term, even for life. At first glance, it feels like a breakthrough. Finally, something that acknowledges women don't have to suffer through midlife. Finally, an option that promises stability, energy, and control. But when a narrative spreads this quickly, it's worth asking a simple question. Who benefits? Because HRT, like any medical intervention, exists within a system, and that system has incentives. Pharmaceutical companies develop and sell hormone therapies. Clinics specialize in prescribing and managing them. Subscription models are built around ongoing care, ongoing monitoring, ongoing adjustments. It's not a one-time solution. It's a long-term relationship, and long-term relationships are incredibly valuable financially. That doesn't mean HRT is bad. For many women, it can be life-changing. It can reduce severe symptoms, improve quality of life, and make a difficult transition more manageable. But there's a difference between a useful tool and a universal solution. And that line can get blurry when profit is involved. Because if the message becomes you need this indefinitely, the market expands dramatically. Not just women with severe symptoms, but a much broader population. Women who are tired, women who are gaining weight, women who feel off but aren't sure why. Symptoms that can have multiple causes suddenly get funneled toward a single solution. That's where things get complicated. Because hormones don't exist in isolation. They interact with sleep, nutrition, stress, movement, body composition. If those fundamentals are off, no therapy fully replaces them. But fundamentals don't create recurring revenue. You can't package sleep 8 hours into a monthly subscription. You can't scale lift weights consistently into a high-margin product in the same way. So the focus shifts, not necessarily through conspiracy, but through alignment of incentives. More emphasis on intervention, less emphasis on foundation. And over time, that shapes perception. Women begin to believe that their bodies require external regulation to function properly, that without it, decline is inevitable, that the baseline state is deficiency. That belief is powerful. Because once you see yourself as dependent on something external to feel normal, it changes how you approach your own body. But here's what often gets left out. Many of the symptoms associated with midlife, fatigue, weight gain, reduced strength, poor sleep are heavily influenced by lifestyle factors that can be improved. Not instantly, not easily, but reliably. Strength training improves insulin sensitivity, supports hormone balance, and builds resilience. Adequate protein supports muscle and recovery. Sleep regulates nearly every system in the body. Stress management reduces the chronic load that amplifies symptoms. These aren't replacements for medical care when it's needed, but they are the foundation that determines how well any intervention works. Without them, even the best therapy has limits. With them, many women experience significant improvements, sometimes enough to reduce or rethink the need for long-term intervention. But again, that path requires ownership. It requires time, effort, consistency, and it doesn't generate the same kind of ongoing revenue. So the louder message becomes the simpler one. Take this, stay on it, feel better. And for some women, that may be exactly the right choice. But it should be a choice made from clarity, not from the belief that there's no alternative. Because when you follow the money, you start to see how narratives form, not necessarily through bad intentions, but through what gets amplified, funded, and promoted. And what often gets left behind are the basics, the things that don't sound exciting, but change everything over time. So here's the grounded approach. If you're considering HRT, get informed. Work with a qualified professional. Understand the benefits, the risks, and how it fits your individual situation. But don't skip the foundation. Build strength. Support your body with nutrition. Prioritize recovery. Give your system what it needs to function well on its own. Not because you have to prove anything, but because that's where real resilience comes from. The goal isn't to reject tools, it's to stop believing they're the only answer. Because midlife isn't a breakdown, and your body isn't a problem to be permanently managed. It's something you can still build. And that changes everything.